Trent Thrasher Construction. From idea to completion, we manage it all. At Trent Thrasher Construction, we create spaces big enough to hold your dreams. We believe in the nobility of hard work. That's what sets us apart. We take pride in everything that we do. There are lots of companies out there that can build your project, but at Trent Thrasher Construction, we don't just build, we create, innovate, collaborate, and take absolute pride in every single project we do. Trent Thrasher Construction. We're here for you.
Clinic 5 Addiction Recovery. Addiction doesn't look like you think.
My name is Brittany. I'm a person just like you are, except for I am a recovering addict. I found hope and I found healing here at Clinic 5 with the help of the amazing staff and doctors. I see my future bright. I actually see a future now.
Clinic 5 Addiction Recovery. Addiction doesn't look like you think. Call 256-952-2709 or visit us online at Clinic.
So my husband and I decided to open Jasmine's Grill and Cantina here in Gaston. We already have a business. It's Jasmine's Lopez Agency. So here Gaston was the best place to open a second business. Exchange Bank made this really, really easy. I thought it was going to be a really hard process, but they were so nice, so sweet, and they explained everything by details. And as you can see, they helped me make all this possible. It was really easy, and they were always there. They were just a phone call away.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Mayor Joe Taylor Show. Jeff Underwood, J-Dub White. What's up?
You know, just here, just reveling in the presence that is my mayor, Joe Taylor. Welcome.
All day long. How are you?
Blessed, you know. It's thank you for sending Jameson in your stead.
Yes.
When you were out of town. It was a fun show.
I'm sure Jameson's looking right now to see if he can get his name called out.
He would. You know, we went a couple months and didn't mention him intentionally.
Yeah, there you go. Jameson's a good one. Man, he's a hard-working guy all around, but he's been really a shining star when it comes to our government, no doubt about that. Jameson's just a very bright young mind.
No,
Unlike Jerry. Neither bright
nor young.
Nor young. Yeah.
I
don't like saying bad stuff to Jerry. I mean, he's already threatened me one time since I've been in here. In the pre-show.
He did?
When we were in the green room.
He did?
He did.
He did. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Why you did that?
It'd be a fun show.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying. It'd be a fun show. You patch. Oh, that's a different mayor. Never mind.
That is a different one.
So, kind of give a breakdown of what's been happening in the world of Rainbow City. Great, exciting news last night at the city council.
Yeah,
meeting.
big news last night. We signed on and are bringing in SMD Metals. They are a steel fabrication company. They're they're housed right now, and their main office is in Mississippi, but they've been looking in North Alabama for a while. They build or will build power poles. They're going to build a huge facility here. They've got actually a 4-phase plan, and they need to be building their product as soon as possible. So if not, their plan was to build the whole thing, but they don't want the construction process to keep them out of the production process. And so we've been able to work out some incentive for them, and it's worked out now, and we're ready to move forward. I think that you'll see them beginning to build out in our Commerce Park out on Lumley Road. That park is about 208 acres right now. We have, and in the next few weeks we'll have almost 120 acres of it dedicated to new business build, and these are all brick and mortar, out of the ground production processes, and so we're excited. I mean, there's a lot of good things happening here. The one thing about SMD is they are a skilled labor production, and we know that the amount of pay, these are not minimum wage jobs. These are skilled people that will do computer aided processes, and as well as being highly skilled welders and fabricators. And I think we talked about their minimum, or their start in will be about $75,000 a year. That's no joke. That's way above the state average, and right at it's actually above the national average as well. And so we know that's with benefits. So in addition to, and that does not include, for the people out there that are always looking to pick something apart, that does not include their administration. So the people that are working in their executive side. So that executive package and those people that are becoming is really, really high paying, and those are people that are going to be living in our community. We're lucky that Drake, that's going to be the production manager. He is a local boy. He was educated here, and he's going to be the guy that's going to be the I guess you would call it a plant manager in the old term, but I think it's called something else now. But it's a big deal. It's initially about $10 million that'll just in the building itself, and then they'll put, I think Suki last night said that there'd be an additional $20 million worth of equipment that'll come in, very specialized bending and cutting and just to be able to move this material, because it's huge plates of steel that gets bent and turned and welded into power poles.
Who doesn't need a power pole?
That's right, everybody. And if you look at their building, their business model of what they're building, it's sustainable. I mean, it's going to be here for a long, long time, and it's an opportunity for our city to bring in some more jobs. But we have another announcement that we'll have in the next 2-3 weeks, and then an additional announcement of an expansion just inside the city here. That it's, and those 3 announcements equate to about close to 200 jobs total, and I believe the investment into the construction and the I guess the overall amount of investment would be somewhere in 60 or so $1 million.
Wow.
That's just a lot of money that gets poured into your area, because even during the construction process, we're gaining ground. We're gaining ground in our revenues. So
that doesn't stink.
No, that doesn't stink.
And they were so excited last night. They seemed very excited to be in Rainbow City. They
are.
Did.
And I think it comes from the fact that they've looked at other areas. They looked at some property here in Etowah County that just was not conducive to their type of work. They run a very clean process, but just because of the simple fact that those poles cannot have any fail rate at all. And so if you look at the process has to be extremely clean, and where some of the other industrial recruiting people had tried to carry them to other areas. They just didn't see that as a way to do their sustainable process and do it in a very, very clean way. And so they landed in Rainbow City, and I don't blame them.
You know what I heard, Jeff, that put it over the top is they got wind of the new business that's coming there where Big Lots is.
Well,
And that really drove it home. That's what I heard.
We know that Big Lots is not doing well, and they're on the way out, which, a
But-
lot of people would say, oh, that's a bad deal. But, we see that as opportunity to be able to put something in there and anchor out the Rainbow Plaza. And
Well,
we hope to do
65%
that.
off right now.
Yeah, that's
Is it?
right.
65, Jeff.
Got to get in there and get you something.
We need them office chairs. They got
Look
any
at
more
them
than
chairs.
left?
Yeah, I think we could do something like that.
I
Maybe
need some office chairs.
like something
We
chrome
for
or
years.
something.
Chrome.
Yeah, yeah. We're running these old church pews.
Man, we
Yeah,
can't
man.
do this anymore, man. I'm tired of it. My back hurts.
Yeah.
The lumbar support's not there.
No
Good.
lumbar.
Maybe we could just go
Wouldn't it
tell
be
Joe
good?
to close his office and go into his conference room. Just
You ain't
I like
You ain't
that.
getting that
I
Those
like
are nice.
that. Though.
He's got his one particular chair in there too.
What about
That's right.
at the new facility?
Hey,
There's
that's
some good
not a
up
bad
for
idea.
grabs stuff down there, right?
That's
Big,
right.
big long blue pew.
I just need a key. Right. Oh, you lay down.
Yeah.
You get that one. The pastor used to sit on that.
That's
A
right.
bit like a,
Yeah, the mini pew.
Yeah, mini pew for Brother Pastor and Chairman of Deacons.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's what Jameson is. He's Chairman of Deacons.
That's what he
Yeah.
I can see it. He's got that
He's-
haircut.
Yeah, he's got
No,
that.
no, he's not. Y'all don't have deacons.
You don't.
Let's. I tell you what. We talked about this briefly. Talking about Jameson, and not that I want to talk good about it because I don't.
Sure.
You know, he left here and immediately had that shooting, that murder.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about what we deal with. Just with because somebody, you always have people taking pot shots at what you're doing and the work that you're doing. And just yesterday, I got a chance to speak to the student leadership for the Chamber of Commerce. Did it at Gadsden City Hall in their chamber, and it was an opportunity for me to talk to the kids and talk to them about the way things go. And we had an incident just yesterday morning where a guy jumped out of a car and ran through a neighborhood, and we apprehended him, put him in jail, and did all of the things that they're supposed to do. And then last night we had a Facebook post that said, it seems like there's a lot that goes on there. Well, I can tell you that's because we have community policing. And that is, we don't let things go on. So if we're not going to wait and stop you on down the road, we're going to stop you where there's a problem, and you're going to be dealt with right then, on the spot. And if you need to go to jail, you're going to go to jail. Now, if that embarrasses your neighborhood, it should not. It should tell you that your neighborhood's being policed, and it's being policed early and often. And that's just the way we do it. Now, there's a whole phenomenon in law enforcement, according to our chief and our police officers, that, there are pockets of bad areas. Well, we just know that we need to put a little extra patrol in that. They tend to be the better neighborhoods because people use those as cut-throughs.
That's right.
It's the safest place in the world is a great neighborhood for a criminal. And so our job is to go in and community police, and instead of going to Facebook, give us a call and say, hey, I think my next door neighbor's selling drugs, or he's doing something crazy, and give us an opportunity to put some eyes on those people. And I promise you, we'll run them out of our town. And that will be our intent.
Just don't do that if you call in just because he raised the prices.
No.
Don't.
Don't.
Because he's going to throw you under the bus. Then you're
that's
going to
right.
jail too.
That's right. But no,
You know that from experience.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
What drug you think I'm on? Coffee?
Crack.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Please.
He's lost like 100 pounds.
150 something.
Yeah, it makes the big guys in the world feel bad about ourselves.
Feel
Well,
inadequate, man.
I did this.
I've lost so much confidence since I've started this show.
Right.
Because of you listening this way.
I did this for you guys.
Okay.
Right? Because when I die, I'm trying to be
I'm going to try to follow you here now.
I'm going to try to be thinner for my
for
six.
pallbearers. I got it.
Yeah, I'm doing it for y'all.
Okay.
I'm with
Not
you.
that you're going to do it.
I just thought we'd plus up and go 8. I mean,
I thought he was going to say he wanted to be around longer for us.
yeah.
I mean, who benefits from that?
No. It's
Kelly wins.
Yeah.
If I go quick,
Yes. She's young, still got
Yeah,
life to live.
the
Get that policy
the
cash.
first thing she's going to
Get
do
out here early.
First thing she's going to do is, hey, Joey Statham,
Yeah.
I need a house.
That's right.
Make sure right in the middle of Rainbow
Give me
City.
a place. Yeah.
I can't anymore. I'm a full-time mayor. Is that happening?
I would say that
There you go.
you should have that.
Wow.
So when you sign your next proclamation,
I sign them with a Joe Taylor pen.
you should.
You do. And
Hey, what are you talking
Sign,
about?
sign those babies. Sign those babies with the Mont Blanc.
That's a cheap pen. Joe Taylor's not even touching
Uh,
it. He turned his nose up at it when he put it down.
Sorry,
He
Joe.
just
Sorry, JoJo. That's so funny. Well,
we put you in so many
Hey,
uncomfortable
y'all really do.
situations, and I'm
You know,
sorry
you just
about that.
expect me just to bear it.
well, that is a race that's going to be highly contested.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's races all over this county. That, you know, we're in an election cycle right now. I mean, we've discussed that before. That you know, when it's time for people to believe that they can put their name in the hat, they, you know, I always encourage it. You know, I'm the guy that'll actually say, you know, give it your best shot,
Sure.
give it a whirl. Got a chance to talk to those kids yesterday, and some of them said, you know, what's the best thing about your job? And I said that I tried. You know, that I got a chance to go and see if I could serve my community and kind of finish strong. That's my whole intent with this. You know, after this, I see myself going into true retirement, hopefully. And I don't know how that's going to work.
True retirement?
Well, I mean, whatever that really means.
Just pick up a 6th or 7th career.
Yeah,
10.
I could probably try that. But you know, the other side of it is, what do you like? What's the worst thing? And it's the complaints that you get. You know, and they said, how do you deal with complaints? And I said, I'm going to say this, and I've said it, I think, on this show, and I don't mean it in a divisive way or in a mean way. You have to get to the point where you don't care. You have to believe in what you're doing, and I explained that to those kids. You know, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you're doing it with all of your heart, and you believe that you've faithfully executing what God's plan is for your life, it doesn't bother me for people to say bad things about me. It wouldn't bother me that somebody would oppose me in an election. You know, I mean, it's just the way it is. But you know, they've got to get their best hold. I mean, you better be able to develop a really, really good work product and put it out for these citizens, because if they have to know by now that this has been a very, very hardworking council that has done their job.
It's different than the only negative we hear about Mayor Joe Taylor comes from other cities. I don't hear it from inside Rainbow City.
And there's another one.
And there we go.
I'm saying.
So yeah, I mean, and I think that's fair. I mean, I've always, you know, like, play little sports here and there, and you know, and there's always what we got?
You're good.
Okay. There's always that one thing or that one person that needs to say something bad about you so that they can feel better about themselves, and that's fine. I mean, doesn't bother me any more than somebody complaining about a cracked garbage can.
But you're going to get that.
Oh yeah, those show up too. You know, that's the best thing about Karen Frost, my assistant. She handles all of that stuff for me, which is just so good, and she's just become a true executive assistant over time. You know, we've and it's just because she's always looking for a way to give me a little time back. So who you got?
Nothing. It's just
Are we doing
the uncomfortable situation to put
we're building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, it makes me feel really good. I'm trying to keep the camera off of him, but
Yeah.
there's just no way.
No.
It's just, you demand it. You're that type of personality.
I'm the least of these.
I zoomed in on you like your tight shot.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought Jared's going to go behind your camera.
Yeah, he went
that
right
went
in
right in
front.
front of
Yeah.
it. So you
Yeah.
guys are welcome. You got
Yeah.
you could see up close and personal that weight loss.
Please.
I'll take it off. I don't care. I'm from a town.
do
I
not.
don't care.
Let's don't take
Don't care at all.
Oh my goodness.
What else I want to talk about? Any good optometrists here in Rainbows? Different question. Let's do Hey, you want to put the text line up?
It's been up.
Oh, okay.
I'll put
Well,
it
I just
back
don't
up.
see it on the screen.
I'll
right
put it
now,
back up.
So
I did it
So
with
do
my
we do
battery.
text line now on the?
we do.
On all of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, anything. And if we get a question
Okay.
that's relevant or
Sure.
decent, we'll ask.
Pop it up there.
Or fun.
We got
Okay.
in trouble for asking all the questions or reading all the text last time, but we made a promise we would do that.
This
And,
lady.
so this time we will not do
Yeah,
that.
you guys got killed.
Bad.
She
I mean, that was
just
a
went
that was
off.
a very. I don't know if it was controversial as much as it was just
There was only two people that.
just looking into things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just talking about it, it was obvious. I mean, it was a true. It happened.
Yeah, I think I love, the one thing that I probably love that I'm really saying that I hate is that people say they love transparency.
Right.
People hate transparency.
Right.
And and we live our life at City Hall with open books.
Yeah.
And other than the name of a company or something
Sure.
like that,
Yeah.
that we have to protect other people's interests. You come see how much we got, how much money we got in the checking account. We don't mind letting you see that, but I think when you get down to something where it splits the majorities, and you become these two minorities,
Yeah.
all of a sudden everybody gets upset when you start telling the truth. And
Well, I think we didn't have information.
Right.
We were having conversations.
Correct.
And we're just reading what people are talking, and it got.
well, that's what I said to you when I walked in. I still don't know what happened.
There you
It's,
go.
it's not my circus, not my monkey. So
But here's what I know: there's two sides and three sides to every story.
yeah,
Right. And we'll circle back to that in a few shows down the road.
yeah.
Maybe. Might be fun.
We should.
I do like that y'all were trying to figure out if we're going to go Raiders or Rockets. I mean that.
I mean,
I like the Raiders.
I like Raiders. I mean,
that was a text from somebody.
But the Rockets make sense.
but I feel like that text is just somebody that's trying to just open it up.
Well, again,
it's
it's
a conversation starter.
The wonderful thing is people don't
So do
realize.
you know who's
We
texting
do.
that?
We know. We have the numbers. So,
Okay.
no, we don't have their name. It
Oh,
just
don't
has
have
to
their
you
just
can
a
track
number.
back.
Correct,
Like,
yeah.
if
Sure
you know
we
the
do.
guy.
Sure.
Or girl.
If they're in our contacts all day. Now,
Okay.
I'll give you a
Don't.
hint. I'm not gonna, don't tell them.
No.
There is one true way that we can find out exactly who
Yeah.
these people are.
Okay.
And we have done that.
Okay.
Yes, it's pretty funny.
And it's great to know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
it's
think they thought, hey, these guys are not going to text back. But one of them that was just very hateful. Obviously, we read the text on there, and then we text them back to let them know. We're just.
Yeah, we're not mad at you.
Well,
I tell people all the time, I don't hate you just
Right.
because me and you don't see eye to eye. It's you've got an opinion, I've got an opinion. I am the person that's open to you changing my mind, but you're going to have to work at it. I mean, I don't just bury up in something and just decide that I'm the only person that knows how to do that.
But the point was that the Rockets make sense with the Challenger Center.
Sure,
I agree.
get it.
Yeah, I can
It's
see
a
that.
great
I can
tie-in.
see that.
But just something about the Rainbow City Raiders.
Yeah, that's got something.
Sounds tough.
It does.
You can go, R, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Or is that a pirate?
that's a pirate.
Is it?
You know,
Could you put a
Raider.
patch on your eye? And you could be the mascot?
Me personally,
Yeah.
it'd be tough calling the games with one eye, but Syracuse.
Sometimes you do it with
If
no eyes.
if Rainbow City calls
I have seen you call the game not even looking at the field before.
Yeah.
I mean, let's
from
be
the
fair.
car in the
Like,
parking lot.
In the parking lot. Yeah.
Yeah, making it up as he goes.
That's right.
Man, some of those games back in the day.
He's also been on the floor of the press box. We won't go to that one, though. We won't talk about that one. Long day of golf. Tough.
My elbows hurting.
Yeah,
Everything.
elbow. Nothing working. Nothing working.
So you got tennis elbow after that match.
It was tough.
So
though.
one thing that we
It
were
was
talking
tough.
about before the show, right before you got here, we were saying, what if we have a segment during the shows where we just ask Joe about current events and different things that are going on? We always promote Rainbow City, and that's what the purpose of the show is.
Right.
We're always going to do that. We do it, not even on this show.
Yeah.
But we want to get because a lot of things that you talk about are so interesting off air.
Okay.
And
The
he
ones
said,
we can talk about.
right. No, obviously we're not going to do
Oh,
that.
she hit me with one.
But we just thought about different. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go, Jerry. Let's
No
go.
better time than right now.
So going back to the ICE situation,
Okay.
Illegal immigrants,
Sure.
that are illegal,
Yes.
right?
Right.
What is your thoughts on the illegal immigrant situation? We have one here. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I have a brother that was a regional director for ICE, and and in talking to him, there's two sides of that story, but you really need to be open to both sides of that story. Now, I'm a very conservative person. I don't believe that you can break the law and just get by with it. But we also know that there's there's two different components to immigration, and that's the illegal part of coming into our country without being vetted and made true to become a part and be given that opportunity to assimilate and become an American. There's that. And then there's the part of people that come into the country and they come into the country to do wrong. those people have to go. And if you were to bring my brother in here, and he's now a executive with Delta Airlines, but has finished his career with immigration and also with the U.S. Air Marshal Service. If you were to bring him in here, I consider him a subject matter expert. He would tell you that there's the things that are absolutely prioritized, and then there are things that it's just kind of what makes the machine work. And those are people that are here on those business visas and that are here on work visas. You know, we need those people.
Sure.
And, you know, and some of my best friends in the world are immigrants. And I want those people to be able to come here and go to work. And people are even going to take exception to the fact that I say those people. But that's the only way for me to designate them different from us. And they obviously are. We, you know, whether you like this country or not, I'm a absolute 100% defender of this country and the way that it's made up. The immigration problem is a problem that needs to be solved. And it needs to be solved so that we can do, I think, a couple of things. Number one is to make sure that we have purity in the criminal system to make sure that we're not bringing in additional problems. We have our own problems, and we wear that on our sleeve, that we have criminals, we have prisons, we have need for incarceration and those kind of things. We don't need to add to that because we fail because we believe that everything that we do has to be a part of the human condition. The truth is, people going to prison is a part of the human condition. Right, yeah. And so I think that's one of those things that I personally believe that if they've committed heinous crime here, get them first. And that's what they're doing right now. Yeah. I mean, that's what's going to happen. And you know, I've got a crazy position that I take, and that is, if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to worry about.
There you go.
How wild is that?
And that's something, you know, that we asked this question during one of the other local elections years ago. We had a couple three on, and every one of them said, "Well, we don't have to deal with that." And finally, Jerry pushed back on one of the men, and as a running for mayor, and he said, "Wait a minute. That's not true at all. You do. It is a part. You don't set the policy, but you have to enforce it.
That's right.
And it is a problem. So
it is. And, you know, we almost all have our own court. And so, you know, in that case, you can't act like we just get to sidestep certain portions of the law. Sure. You know, we all have agreements, you know, for felony arrest and felony incarceration, you know, using our county jail, or some people use other jails or whatever, you know, but that's our job. Sure. I mean, and we have to face that head on. Yeah. You know, without doing that, I think that we fail the people that we're here to protect. You know, because I think that's the one thing about mayors, that, you know, it's not our job just to make these day-to-day decisions on what color to paint the park bench. You know, it's our job to actually see to the safety and security of everyone that has an opportunity to vote for us or against us. And once you go in, it's what I've told my council over and over again. Once you go into office, you have to stop campaigning and go to work. And that's the one thing that I believe they heard and heeded my advice when we came into office. We went to work. And if our work product doesn't stand for us, then we obviously won't be reelected. Or if we say something about, you know, some controversial thing like immigration, I'm just not going to back down from the fact that there is a way to get in this country. Everybody sitting in this room, your family came to this country in some way, and that was to assimilate, to you know, you can go back and forth on whether you need to learn the language or not, especially when you can wear earbuds and understand Vietnamese. I mean, I used to be very hard-nosed about that. I'm not anymore. But it's because over time I've understood the assimilation process is to love this country.
Amen.
It's not necessarily whether you can speak great English or not. I don't buy that at all.
I know people who grew up here their whole lives and can't speak good English.
That's right. Yeah, I knew a lady over in she went to church with us. She was Ben Pillatieri's sister, and she was a wonderful person, just 100% Italian all the way through. And listening to her speak English was like me seriously trying to sort through. I would rather that she spoke Italian and used the right hand signals and I could get closer. But she was just a precious lady that learning English wasn't in the cards for her. But she was just a great person and a great American.
And some of those that live way out in the holler.
Yeah, some of those
That's different
that's a
language,
struggle,
man. No,
you know.
seriously, that's different
That's
language.
right. Rachel.
No disrespect to the holler. I love the holler.
Rachel's from Italy. There's times when I get her slow down or speed up, and she's probably watching.
Well, you always know where she stands with you, though.
That's right.
Here's a question that Jeff and I were talking about before the show during our pre-council meeting.
Sure.
How does these lifelong political, what's the right word? I want to use the right word here.
Career politicians.
Okay, let's go with that. Career politicians, how do they accumulate millions and millions of net worth on the salary that's $200,000 a year?
That's simple. I mean, but you have to just say it out loud. There's special interest out there, even down to the level that I'm at. There are people that will come in and want to, and of course at our level, it's can I buy you dinner? Can I buy you lunch? Do you want to go play golf and those things? And you have to put a hard rule in. I have a hard rule, and that is that I don't take gratuity. Mm-hmm. We're allowed to take a certain amount of gratuity, which is absolutely insane.
Sure.
But the way I was able to crack that egg, and I'm not going to say this is the right way, because obviously I've been talked down to by other politicians that said that when I gave my salary away, I can tell you what that does. That runs most of the people that's going to offer you a gratuity. That runs them back into the woods. Mm-hmm. And to not say that there's opportunity to make money in politics is just to be a bold-faced liar.
Yeah.
I'm just very thankful that I'm in a place in my life financially that I don't have to accept your gift card or your whatever that you might be able to do for me. Mm-hmm. I just don't need it. And God's blessed me in a amazing and mighty way, and that keeps me from having to take your pat on the back and your coin in the hand. I just don't.
But he's not saying he won't accept your lunch sometime down at Union Jacks.
No, I'm not saying that at all. It may be your time to pay.
Absolutely right. It's a rotation, right?
That's right. And I think you have to limit yourself to being exposed to people that are that way. You'll find out really quick. We work with very, very ethical companies in Rainbow City. If I ever let the hair on my neck get up, they're through. They're not going to be coming back and doing any work for us. So if you see a company just disappear, you can probably know that they're running some sort of unethical thing. I haven't had a lot of that. I'll just be honest with you, but I think it's because I made an absolute when I came into office, and that was that I don't need you to buy my lunch. I can go home and make a sandwich if maybe. I don't know that I could. Mm-hmm. Rachel would pack me a lunch.
See?
Right?
See, absolutely she would.
I would think so.
Yeah. With love.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe a little note that says, take the garbage out or something.
Well, you got your job.
You got the jobs, you got
to do. You better be doing it. What other hot breaking topic can we talk about? NIL? You want to talk about NIL?
Yeah, NIL ruined sports. I mean, it just has. I
love it.
I think that. Are you going to say you love it?
I do. Absolutely love it.
You don't see that it's tilted the table?
Has it?
Has it not?
When the
what
world
did
has
we
Texas,
say? What did we say 4 years ago? Did we not say that Big Oil would come into and has Big Oil come into it? Absolutely.
Sure.
So has it tilted the table?
So
what do you say?
This is the greatest season. Take my love for Notre Dame out of it.
Okay.
Look at all the teams who historically have never been big-time programs that are now big-time programs.
So we've got
competitive balance.
We've got another professional sport.
Minor league, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm for it.
Okay.
But it's always being done.
How do you feel about it down into high school?
It's coming. It'll be here next year.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
It's already and I'm for it.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely for it. From a media standpoint, it's great news.
Yeah.
Great to talk about.
It's a lot to talk about.
From a fan standpoint, it's always been happening.
Yeah.
It's just been ask your Auburn people.
Yeah.
Ask about the McDonald's bag that was dropped off, right? Which he went on his show and 100% talked about it.
Yeah.
Which good for him. He was dressed like a 1950s Meemaw,
But
but
still ain't said the bagman's name though.
he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
I watched it.
He did.
I have to go back and watch
He
it.
But
did.
you know,
Was
I
it
think
his
I love it. I think it's great.
even in all of that, you know, and we all knew that it's just there's wrongdoing everywhere.
Sure.
You know, but
Don't you govern it though? Is how it should be done.
you know,
And then-
I don't know
and
because
that,
I mean that
that's
goes
what's in litigation
back to,
now is
yeah.
governing it and putting a $20 to $20 million limit on it,
Yeah.
and kind of. I mean, Nick Saban.
Well, I mean, like how many people would you know that their granddaddy or great granddaddy would say it's time for us to vote on a lottery? You know, we've watered down our beliefs over time, and now whether they're right or wrong, we may have been educated. Maybe it didn't water us down. We may have figured out that most people that play the lottery are actually using entertainment dollars, whether they bowl or
Sure.
whether they lottery.
Sure.
That's their business, and I'm an absolute libertarian when it comes to my rights and my ability to exercise my rights. But at the same time, I just think that we can't always say we can govern and legislate everything because,
Sure.
just to be honest with you, the same group of, to speak to what Jeff was saying, the same group of people that want a homecoming queen contest, and that is to be a political pundit or a student of politics or a lifelong learner and gainer from politics. Those people don't necessarily have brains.
Sure.
They have
Agreed.
they can be a pretty face, they can be somebody that has a good rap. You know, I mean, I know that I can bull crap with the best of them.
You?
So, what? Yeah. And so, you know, knowing that you can go in and you have that one little gift that will make people turn and get on your side and march in your direction, that can be very dangerous if it's not used in the appropriate
Sure.
way.
And
Question.
we should probably do a
Okay.
whole show on NIL. This is a great question, Joe.
Mayor Taylor, how do you feel about Trump and Elon investigating all the spending from the federal government?
Has to be done.
Is there any funding going to affect our county or cities that they're doing away with? If this has been asked and missed, you didn't. It was not.
Was not
No.
asked. Thank you for the question.
I think it has to be done. You know, the getting rid of all the inspectors general needed to happen. You know, I remember being in the military, and I was in the military for quite a long time. And one of the things that we did at the end of the year is we expended all of our rounds of ammunition, or, you know, whatever happened to that ammunition, so that we could get the same amount the next year. That is the worst business model that you could ever have, and that is we need you to go out and blow up your car so that we can get another car next year. That's extremely childish and adolescent and ridiculous, and I think it's something that we need to do. You know, I've said from the very beginning, you know, me and Donald Trump could probably really get along, but it's because of the way he does business. Not necessarily that we would want to hang out and eat pizza, but it's because that I know that he wants to get his business done. And I think that what's happening right now with Elon Musk, I mean, you know, somebody said the other day, how are you going to put a billionaire in charge of all your money? I don't even want to hear that.
Right.
I mean, you know, why would you put a businessman in charge of a city? You know, that, you know, this budget and my budget on my business were, you know, they balanced out. So obviously I know how to manage that for 35 or 40 years. I should be able to manage a city's budget knowing that most of the people in there are the subject matter experts when I got to the job.
Sure.
And I think that that's what's happening now, is that we've put so many political appointees in place in Washington and all over. And it's one of the things that and we're lucky to have the leadership in Tommy Tuberville and Katie Britt and Mike Rogers, which are ours right now. Those people, if you meet with their staff, they're young, they're vibrant, they have an understanding, and they have conviction in what they do. They're not the typical Washington staff that just moves from office to office. These are homegrown people. Mike Rogers' chief of staff, Haley Wilson, she is a young, extremely talented lady that is from Montgomery. Mm-hmm. You know, she's homegrown, so she's in D.C. right now, you know, running in the office for undoubtedly the most powerful person when it comes to the amount of money that's spent out of this country, because our congressman from our district is the guy that's over armed services. He has the largest budget. It's in trillions of dollars.
That's a big one.
And that's a big one, And so, we're doing things different out of Alabama, and I think, us believing that we're still barefooted and use outhouses is just not fair to us.
It's a great question, Mike.
Do you? Yeah, it's a very good question. Thank you, Ms. Wyman. Another one. Do you? Hold on. Governor's race for the state of Alabama. Any leading candidates that you have an insight on or an inside?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're going to see Will Ainsworth get into that. It's just it's a normal stepping stone for him. I think you're probably going to see Tommy Tuberville get into that race, and if Senator Tuberville gets into that race, it's going to change things. That guy is not only well respected, but he's feared in Washington, and you want to be well respected for sure. But they need to worry about you just a little bit. And Tommy Tuberville is, I'm not saying he's a loaded gun or anything like that, but I can tell you what he doesn't have. He doesn't have fear. He's not afraid of anyone in D.C. That Beltway doesn't scare him none at all. And when you go up there and meet with him, he's just a guy. But he is a guy that has surrounded himself with an incredibly smart team. He just lost his chief of staff, Emory. It's a Pell City boy that is now going to be a special economics advisor to President Trump. Wow. Kids from down here, and he literally looks like a kid. Now he's a grown man. Being in the room with him is a little bit intimidating. Not only does he wear crazy nice suits, but he's just a smart person. And I think that you can probably see those two rising out of the governor's race. I think that'd be great for lieutenant governor. I don't know who's going to stick their hand in that. I would love to see somebody like Nathaniel Ledbetter. That's the speaker. Right now, Nathaniel's he's from here in our region, and he's a very, very smart man. He's so well respected. He's risen to that speaker position in 2 terms? Something like that. Well, you don't get there because you're just a pretty face. You get there because you've got something behind your eyeballs.
Wow, good.
Another good question. Yep. I love that asking these people.
Is he from Aniana?
No, he's actually from up in. Is it Blount County?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which? Blount County's huge.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, it's
it's a large county.
Let me get back to this. Go ahead. I'll get back to
I was waiting for the questions. I love not having to ask Joe questions. I can just sit back and watch. Just do the work.
Well, I just have an opinion about everything.
We've heard.
There's not a lot that I'm just that I'm neutral on.
Would you be willing to run for state office? You said retire.
I've been asked about that, and there's nothing more flattering. There's no doubt I have work to do here. That I guess that gives you my answer. The answer is no. If there was an absolute need, that I thought I could bring something to the table, but if it's just for sheer popularity, which is the reason you run most of the time, but I can see myself. I'm capable. I'm not going to act like I don't know my own self, but I don't. I just believe that there's so much good that can come from what we're doing right now, and my intent is to be the mayor for another term, and I guess I just announced that. So,
love it.
Yeah.
Let's see, you get breaking news right here.
I think y'all just corralled me into something.
You walked into it.
Oh,
I mean, honestly, you steered it. Steered?
Yeah. Oh wow, steering committee. This is my steering committee.
Just
yeah.
Well,
it's
going to go off the rails if that's the case.
I'm in trouble. But I do think that there's this time right now where the people that elect officials now are looking for problem solvers, for people that actually know what they're doing, and there's no doubt that there's some opportunity politically. Because there's been a lot of mileage gained. I am the guy that fought the rendering plant, and if you start looking at those good decisions that were made, and some of that stuff is spur of the moment decisions. You've got to make it in a hurry, so you've got to gather a lot of information. That's really all that a good, and I hate the use of the word politician. We're public servants, but there's nothing wrong with being a good politician if you have the ability to make sound decisions.
Sure.
And those are not made off of lining your pocket.
Got a nice comment there by Jameson. You want to read that, James?
Sure, I'll throw it on the screen for
Wait,
you guys.
did Jameson say something?
Let me take that one. I'll put this one up. This is something y'all should know that I'm weighing my bag for our trip to DC next month. I don't want to traumatize Joe again.
Listen, y'all. You want to talk about an embarrassing moment? Jameson Jenkins can put me in some of the most embarrassing moments. I mean, when you're standing there at the Delta counter, and you're waiting to get your bag weighed, and Jameson puts his bag up there, and it's a good 17, 18 pounds overweight. And you're just like, first off, dude, you don't own that much stuff.
Hair product?
Yeah, it's like it's got to be hair products. It's
boosters.
It's cuff links.
Okay.
It's cuff links, heavy boots. He ends up having to like transload everything that he's got, and I'm standing there. I'm on the same ticket, boarding passes with the guy, and it's just an absolute embarrassment. But we got through it. I don't think he'll do that again.
Did you have sweat running down your
Yeah,
face?
it's one, because I have a lot of anxiety about those situations, like crowds and that kind of stuff. It's just because I know that something can go wrong, and I tend to be standing there when it happens. So,
Well, it did.
Somebody said,
well,
somebody said, whatever you do, do not let Joe Taylor try to park the plane.
Rough.
well, that's a fact now.
That's rough.
And that's probably somebody at City Hall, or it could be Jameson.
I did
or,
ride
or
through the
my
parking
wife.
lot the other day.
Just to
I
test
did.
the lines. We're going to put a
I
mark on
I
your
just
wheel.
kind of get it close. I've never pulled into our parking lot except one day a year, and that's during the Christmas celebration that every parking spot is taken. So go somewhere else if you don't like the way I'm parking. Just move down a couple.
I mean,
I don't even park like close to the door, so that people can park close to the door, because those are our
leadership.
Are our customers.
That's good leadership. It is great leadership.
And I'd park way out in the parking lot, but that kind of showcases my bad parking.
You don't want that to stand out.
No.
For sure.
But whoever that was, I mean, come on.
read that one. I'm not reading this
From Mr. Jenkins. Hey, I'm sorry that Joe has 0 pounds of hair product to carry.
Well, and I think that's the thing, though. At some point we have to get to the place where we go, okay, look, this is as good as it looks. And, that's called honesty in the mirror. The man in the mirror matters. And, Jameson really needs to spend a little more time in front of a full-length mirror, and he'll figure out he's not as great as he thinks he is.
To stand on the counter.
Ding.
Yeah. Oh, wow. He's got that little toddler
Sorry.
stool that
been
you
around
stand
here.
on so that he can brush his teeth and actually get to the water. I love him. He knows I love him.
Karen Wyman, this is a great. We can't get to that all on the screen, but it says, I agree, Mayor. I think it's from your last comment. I also respect the fact that you're open and transparent. There should be nothing hidden when it comes to citizens' tax dollars, whether that be federal level or municipal level. So, good.
Yeah, I think it's all the way down. I think at the state level as well. That's one thing that I can say about our current state government is that they're very, very tuned in as far as how much tax that is being taken from us. You'll hear people all the time say, I don't believe in any taxes. Well, okay, then it's going to be dog eat dog. It's going to be the Wild West. There's no doubt that our tax structure is quite different from, let's say, Florida. But I can tell you that the taxes on, and I have a beach house. I had it before I actually came to office, so before anybody starts that one up. And my taxes there, because I was looking at two places. I was looking at Perdido Key, Florida, or Pensacola Beach, and I was looking at Fort Morgan, Gulf Shores area.
Love Fort Morgan.
My property taxes in Fort Morgan is, I don't know, maybe it's $2,500, $3,000 a year, because it's not my homestead. Had I been over in Florida, that was going to be about $10,000 or $12,000.
Yeah.
So there's your swap. So
But no
do you
grocery
want to
tax,
pay
though.
it on grocery? That's right, and that it's just everything is a swap. And people like to say, "Well, I would rather be in Florida." No, you'd rather vacation in Florida when you buy your groceries. But I can promise you this: you don't want to be a property owner in Florida, or go to Maine, where my daughter used to live, and they spent as much money on property tax as they did on their mortgage. And the swap out there is you can't drive a car down the road because the roads are so rough. Yeah. So if you look at that composition of what your tax dollars do, you have to be realistic. I mean, everybody, nobody hates taxes more than me. I pay a lot of tax. I mean, I pay taxes on a salary that I give away. I mean, and that's a tough time. Not the brightest moment of my life, by the way.
But you show integrity by following through.
It does, and I've had some people question, where that money went, and and I'll disclose that. But I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna hurt your feelings.
Yeah, we saw somebody mention that was a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
and we're like, dude, you don't even want to go there.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
It shows you.
You're giving away more than you make.
Yeah,
more than your salary.
Gone in the hole.
Hey, let's get to wrap this up just slow. Let's get to some jobs here in Rainbow City. Rainbow City is currently looking for police officers, but you have a recreation labor position available.
We do. We have Jen Wethington that came to us.
Great hire.
Oh my goodness, it was one of the best things that we've ever done, and it's one of the things that I actually kind of stuck my nose into. I don't normally do that with our department heads, but Philip Hollingsworth and I sat down, and we knew we had a short amount of time that we could grab Jen and bring her into our team. And we did that knowing that she is this is going to sound horrible, but she is a prized possession for our Parks and Recreation Department.
Sure.
She is so good at what she does. She did it for many, many years, and she's moving down and going to be doing it at Chihuahua. And so they're so lucky. And and she called, and we got a chance to speak on the phone and talk about her exit strategy from here, and she is just a precious person. She's got a great heart, and she's got a love for people, and we're excited for her. Hate that we're going to lose her.
Yeah.
And we had really hoped that she was going to hang in there with us. I don't know why we thought that. I guess we just thought we were nice, But Jen's going for a really good opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that she lasted this long, And that's one of the things that we continue to talk about is how do we retain that great talent? And it's not easy. It's not easy in government because what people love to do and tell the people that work for me, especially our police officers and firefighters that are very, very publicly exposed, they love to say, I pay your salary. Well, in that case, I have to say to people, you should be ashamed of yourself that's how you pay these people, because anybody that gets up in the morning, puts a gun on their side to go and do their job, I promise you they deserve more than what we can give them. And we've done everything that we possibly can to incentivize and let them know that we believe in their profession. And for them, they're not just called to that; they are chosen for that. And I believe that goes to God's word that He says that for many are called, but few are chosen. I believe that we have chosen people in so many of our positions in Rainbow City that I could call them all day long.
I'll call one.
Okay.
Kenneth
Payne is absolutely chosen.
No question.
That guy has if he has nothing else, he has the love of the Lord, and it shows every single day in what he does. He loves people. He loves this community, and he is honest as Abraham Lincoln. I mean, that dude will absolutely tell you the truth, and he does it with love and caring, and he finds his way to serve every single day. And that's what I try to tell our associates is, go out and find a way to serve. And it's what you guys are doing when you send out your congregation every week. You send them out so that they've been uplifted and held in God's hand and in His Word for you to go out and do His good work.
Well said.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Yep. Thank every one of you. Can't name you all because
we need 5 more.
We need 5 more.
Yeah. 5 more.
Gotta have 5 more.
So if you're out there, jump in on this program.
We're going to be sending texts today.
Yeah.
You can listen, this program right here, this one This program right here, Jerry?
This one right here.
This right here. This will get you the exposure that your local business needs. I can guarantee you, and it needs it. You need more. Everybody needs more business and more notoriety. And thank you, Mayor, for everything you do for us.